A show that tackles the big issues affecting the BVI and the rest of the Caribbean. Searches for answers to today's big questions and gives viewers a unique perspective on developing stories. Follow the big story with me, Kathy Richards, only on JTV. This show is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon Spa Nail and Barbershop, the Wellness Center, Medical and Behavioral Health Clinics, Ticely Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, HOV Medical and Digicel, simply more speed, reliability and entertainment. This is The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Today with me is Miss Kim Huish. She is from the BVI Scuba Organization, not association. Kim, it's fantastic to have you here to talk about something that we don't talk about so often. But I tell you what, when you first said the Scuba Organization, all that's ringing in my ears is Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting thought. We are scuba, underwater diving, as most people know. I'm actually the president of the Scuba Organization, and I'm really here to try and tell you a little bit more about the event that we've got coming up, which is BVI Rec Week.
Okay, before we get to the rec, get us to understand a little bit about the Scuba Organization.
Right, well, we're a little bit like the Marine Association or the Hotel Association. We're a group of businesses, so does start from the business perspective. But like with a lot of businesses that are involved in nature, we are very passionate about giving back and about keeping things going and safe and healthy. So the BVI Scuba Organization is made up of currently 6 dive operators here, dotted around the BVI, one on Jost Van Dyke Scuba, several on Tortola, and 2 on Virgin Gorda. And we don't have a huge budget. So when we decided that, or when we try to tell people about what's going on, we have to be inventive, and we're very accustomed to collaborating. So you were talking about Scooby-Doo and animals. Well,
yeah.
we work with organizations, other non-profits like us, to help preserve things like the turtles. So ARC, I think you're familiar with, Association of Reef Keepers, and a great one that works with us is Beyond the Reef, and I'll get to a little bit more about them later. But we also want youth to be involved and to be passionate about the ocean. You can't love what you don't know, so we want to bring people in. So we also work with people like Cats, with Stacy out at YEP. So we really are as all-embracing as we possibly can be. Our goal is to get every kid that lives in the BVI to swim, at least, and perhaps to dive. We also work with the guys at the college, too. So we are
Why
all
you got started?
Well, the association started way back in the 70s, actually. By people like Duncan Muirhead and Joe Jacinto and Alan Baskin. I don't know, the old people here may remember some of those names. No. Well, they came in the 70s, they sailed in and they found these amazing dive sites. They were divers before they came. And so they wanted to develop a business. But as I said earlier, it's not just about the business, it's about preserving the dive sites. If there's no diving here, then there's, if there are no sites here, there's nowhere to dive. So that's the history of us. And we've sort of morphed into much more of the reaching out and the collaboration than just running business ideas. Obviously, we want to try and make sure that government helps us out where they can and that legislation is put in place in a sensible way. But we're much more about preserving the reefs and preserving the fish stocks here. One of the things that we were very fortunate to do during the COVID problems was that we didn't have any business, but the reef are struggling. The reef have a disease called stony coral tissue loss disease. Yes. And you can treat that. It's obviously better if it didn't exist, but it can be treated with a sort of antibiotic paste. So we, the dive operators, were involved in doing that in the times that we weren't able to make money. So we made some kind of progress. It's not perfect yet, but we're there.
Okay. And in terms of not being a business, where do you impact most?
That's an interesting one. I would say it's with the development of things like the art reefs, and I did briefly mention Beyond the Reef. Obviously, over time, we're fighting things that are beyond our control, things like climate change, and over time the reefs have degraded. So how do you mitigate that? What do you do? Well, one of the things that we have been doing is helping to create art reefs. The first one that people may know about was from the Kodiak Queen. I don't know if you're familiar with that, Rick.
Yeah.
She's off Virgin Gorda now, and she was actually at Pearl Harbor, so there's a lot of history involved with that boat. And with the help of some other organizations, I'm going to get the names wrong. There was a sculpture that went down along with the wreck, that was built on shore and went with the wreck, and that kind of was just an art thing. But the point behind the sculpture was that it would give places for coral and other invertebrate life to attach to, so that they could actually find a new home. So the reefs are getting smushed over here, but we're giving fake reefs, if you like, artificial reefs over here. So that was the first one. She didn't do very well because of the location, and the actual art sculpture has gone subsequently. But the team from Beyond the Reef did an amazing job after Irma of making 2 new art reefs. One of them is called Shark Plano. And that's really fun. Yeah, it's over on the docks. You could just about snorkel it if you're a good, strong swimmer, but otherwise it's a little bit too deep. You have to dive. But what they did was they took some of the planes that got smashed at the end of the runway during Irma. They stripped out all the stuff that could leak into the ocean. They've actually put amazing sculptures on it. So they look like sharks. So there's 3 of them in a row. One of them is a hammerhead shark. He's got eyes on the end. Another one is a great white, and I can't remember what the third one is, but they're very cute, and they're great for photography opportunities. And again, the whole point of this stuff is to give habitat. So they're doing very, very well. They went down in 2019, and they've got a lot of growth, and they're attracting a lot of fish. The other one that they did was the Willie T. Everybody knows the Willie T.
Yes.
Yeah. So the big Willie T is still up, or Willie T times 3, I think it is still up. But Willie T times 2 is now off Kiki, off Peter Island. And again, what they did with that is they made it into a pirate themed boat. So it looks like a pirate ship, and there's all kinds of pirates. There's one sitting on the loo, and there's another one. They're doing all kinds of fun stuff. So again, it's a photo opportunity, but beyond that, it's about giving habitat to the fish. And the coral growth on there is astounding. And it's not just fun. What we do, what the team does, is there's actually research that goes on. So they're photographing the state of the coral growth. They're making sure that they're recording this and seeing how things are improving and how we can do more.
Okay.
So,
do you guide people to those for dives?
all of them are guided dives, yes. And what we ask is that visitors donate $5 a person to go diving, and then
only $5?
that's the donation. They do actually have to pay for the dive, but the donation goes to Beyond the Reef, and that goes into places like Unite BVI, or is it Unite VI? I always get that wrong. But anyway, and they are the ones that do the swim programs. So it's all circular. And that's one of the great things about diving. We can't exist as an industry without collaboration. No diver can come here and stay on a dive boat. They have to stay in a hotel or in a guest house or in a villa or an Airbnb. We do some cruise ship passengers, but most of the time they're resident. They're on Tortola overnight. And then, of course, they have to eat. They have to get from A to B. So they're driving in taxis or renting cars. So it's very, very collaborative. The dive industry has to be collaborative. So,
and it's one that is booming. We see quite a number of people coming to go dive.
well, our dream is that we turn BVI into a destination where people specifically come to dive. At the moment, we're a place that people come and dive. In the same way that they come and they look at other attractions around the territory. Now, it won't take too much work, and we are working hard, putting things like these extra reefs in. But yes, in general, we're doing pretty well. As I say, we have to collaborate with people like Bitter End and people like Nanny Key. All those people are helping us to grow.
Awesome.
So, yeah, and it does benefit everybody. So.
Okay, so we get to that point where we talk about what you have planned.
Yeah.
Is it an anniversary?
It's not quite an anniversary. Okay, so Rec Week originally started way back in the 2000s. I'm not going to give you the exact date. And it started very small, and we're still very small. Think Baby Shark. We're not up to Mama and Daddy Shark yet. We're only on Baby Shark. So the first one was in the 2000s, and that was done by one of the dive companies on Virgin Gorda, which is Dive BVI, and they really focused on the Rhone. Now, I'm sure everybody in the BVI, whether you swim or whether you don't, knows a little bit about the Rhone.
Yes.
Yeah, she went down off Salt Island in a hurricane in 1867, October 1867, and she's been dived almost ever since because she was a mail ship. She had valuables on her that they retrieved almost immediately, which means that the fish are very, very familiar with divers, and also the coral is really beautiful. And she's steel, and she's fairly shallow, so it means that snorkelers can get to it. It's only 15 feet deep at the shallowest point. So they did the first Rec Week in the 2000s, and it was focusing on the Rhone. Then fast forward to after Irma.
Oh, yes.
We, as a territory, as you know, did some pretty severe damage. There were some positives from that in terms of getting the materials to create these artificial reefs. But the negatives were that, so much devastation, and that the outside world knew about BVI, but they didn't know that we were back. So we decided as an industry, we don't have a ton of money, we can't do advertising, we can't put ads on at CNN or anything like that to tell the world we're good. So what we tried to do was create an event that would generate its own publicity and let people come. And so that was what we did. The first Rec Week that we have been involved in recently was 2019, and it went very well. We had some good feedback, and we've got some great video, which if you hop onto bvirecweek.com or our Facebook page, you'll see it. And the whole point is that it's not just about the wrecks, and it's not just about the diving. As I've mentioned before, we have to be collaborative. So when you start thinking about a wreck, when you start thinking about the Rhone, you can't talk about the Rhone without talking about Salt Island.
Yes.
You can't talk about Salt Island without talking about the Salt Islanders. And in my time here in the BVI, there were people living on Salt Island. I can remember sitting and chatting with Norwell. There's not many people that have that chance or that have that history to be able to share. So when you're talking about Salt Island and the Salt Islanders, and then you're talking about the beef from Beef Island and the barrels from Cooper Island, and then you're talking about the farmers, and then you're talking about the Tortola sloops, and then you realize that Rec Week is about everything and everyone. And so we really want to make sure that everyone gets involved, everybody feels welcome, and it's for visitors, but it's also for residents. This year, some of the activities we've got are so exciting.
Tell me about them.
All right. Well, we start off with a little pirate party over at Hendo's at Jos Van Dyke.
Okay. That's fun.
So Rec Week is February 12 to 18.
Okay.
So the pirate party is a brunch party, brunch like a pirate. Why not?
Okay.
That's a nod to our pirate history. When I first started researching this, I got a little vexed because the Caymans, they have this huge thing called Pirate Week, and they never had a pirate. We actually did have pirates, and we've got some really interesting pirate history. So that little first day, that first Sunday brunch is a nod to the pirate history. We hope that Rec Week becomes big and annual, in which case we'll be able to expand on that. But pirates were awesome. They were actually the first democracy. There were lady pirates. There were pirate, if you were sick, you could still get paid by your pirate buddies. People don't know that. Yeah, there was a kind of pirate retirement home over at Great Thatch. So, yeah, pirates are cool. So that's the pirate party. Then the next day, we move to the moorings, and we're having a meet and greet. So if you are interested in learning how to dive, or if you've got a business and you want to try and work on packages that you can offer somebody that stays in your hotel or villa or whatever, and you want to add diving as a package, you can speak to the dive operators. But diving isn't just about face-to-face. You may not be a people person. So maybe you want to learn about being a commercial diver. The guys will be there for that. Or maybe you're passionate about the research side of it, so you want to be a marine biologist. There will be marine biologists there to help you understand what you can do. So it's for all ages, it's for business people, it's for young people. So come along to the moorings. That's just a little, very informal. It's a meet and greet. I'm happy to say the tourist board are helping host that for us. So it's from 5 to 7, happy hour. So just at the end of the workday for an hour or so, come along and chat. So that's Monday. Then Tuesday is a really fun day. Tuesday is over at Cane Garden Bay. It's after school closes, and it's the 2 elementary schools over there are helping do a beach cleanup with Myatt's and Latitude 18. Yeah, so again, we want the kids to understand you can't love what you don't know. If you don't understand that your plastic is going into the ocean, why would you worry about it? As soon as you start seeing that it is, then mommy, pick up.
Yes.
Daddy, don't throw that out of the car. So we're trying to get them young, trying to get them excited. And Latitude 18 are going to do a little auction there, some of their stuff, and that will go to Green VI, who are going to be helping there as well. And again, back to the charities. Sorry, I know I'm talking a lot.
No. This is interesting, some things that we don't hear of ever so often. So it's, yes.
Right. So we are trying to make sure that we go to around the islands. We're not trying to stay just on Tortola. A lot of things stay on Tortola, which brings us to Wednesday. Wednesday is a fun day over at Cooper Island. Obviously, that's probably more leaning towards the visiting yachts, but it's still, we want the message out. Cooper Island is going to host a little pub quiz, a little shark pub quiz. So back to Mummy Shark.
No Scooby-Doo.
So that's a shark quiz, and that's being hosted by 2 amazing photojournalists who are joining us from the UK just to cover Shark Week. Nick and Caroline from Frogfish Photography. Look them up. They are amazing. So that's Wednesday night. It's after dinner, so sort of 8-ish, 8:30-ish. And that's at Cooper Island. Then the next day, we're moving around the BVI. The next day is Thursday, and we go up to the Bitter End Yacht Club. And they are hosting a movie night. And that movie is The Deep. Now, I don't know if any of you old-time people remember.
Yes, sorry. Ain't gonna be old-time because...
Well, that was filmed in the 70s, and it was filmed here in the BVI on the Rhone. It's Nick Nolte and Jacqueline Bisset, and I think they're going to make it a fun thing. I think they're going to make it, you can't be serious about a film that's that age. But there's going to be a little Rhone presentation by Kay and Ben from Sunchaser Scuba, who are based up at the Bitter End. So it's a fun thing and some information as well. So that would be Thursday, and then we're round to Friday. Friday is off the chain. Friday is an Anegada beach cleanup. Starting from Village Key at 8 in the morning, and then all of this semester's group of college kids, the ones that are doing the marine course, the 12 of those, plus some chaperones, are joining the boat at Paraquita Bay, and Green VI are going to be on board as well, and Nick and Caroline, of course. So that is a run by Beyond the Reef from Village Key out to Anegada and back in a day. What a great day trip. Yeah, amazing. They're going to show them the conch piles. They're going to show them the flamingos from the ocean. Chris Jordan, who is one of the spearheads behind Beyond the Reef, is going to be there and make sure that there is going to be some work involved. There's going to be a 2-hour sun-drenched beach cleanup. But again, it's about telling young people especially, we are the stewards of this place. If we don't look after it, it won't be there for your kids, I'm done. I don't have kids. I don't have grandkids, but I'm passionate. But I'm here. But I'm passionate that we leave this place better than how we found it. So if we can get these college kids to and they're doing very, very well at the college. This is an amazing program.
That one is open to the public.
That one is open to the public. Yes. Get onto the website, or you can contact Beyond the Reef, or you can contact We Be Diving, or I Want to Dive. We Be Diving is the dive shop at Village Key, so you can reach out to them direct. It's $125 per person to go, which for a day trip out to Anegada isn't bad. Yes. Lunch is going to be after the cleanup, and that's at Anegada Beach Club. They're going to be offering some specials, and if you want to make it a sort of late Valentine's weekend, you can stay overnight. They're doing specials out there as well.
Okay, wow.
So that's Friday, and then we come to the final day, Saturday. Saturday is at Nanny Key, and this is where the culture stuff really comes into play. So we've got some help from some of our sponsors there. There'll be some pop-ups for CCT and for Virgin Islands, National Bank of the Virgin Islands, I always get that wrong, and Green VI will be there as well, the tourist board probably as well. But what we're doing is we are so excited. The College Historical Society, HLSCC again, they're going to be bringing some artifacts down, and they're going to be doing a sloop presentation. and it's all about sharing our culture, not letting it die, looking at the past and making sure we live through the future. And that ties in with Green VI as well. A lot of their reuse, recycle, I don't know about you, but we never had plastic water bottles. They didn't exist when I was a kid.
We drank from the pipe.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you very much. But not only that, things like reusable garbage bag. I mean, my mum had a string bag to go grocery shopping.
Yes.
And if you forgot the string bag, you had to go back home and go get that and then go shopping.
Yes.
So we were recycling back before we even knew what recycling was. So that's tying in with that. So we're really happy. Bernadine Lewis is coming from the college to do that presentation. Okay. Then we've also got Dr. Titley O'Neill coming from
Virgin Gorda.
From BVI National Parks Trust.
Yes.
And she's going to be doing a Rhone presentation. So much fun. Then we've got some silly stuff going on. Everybody knows about the lionfish here. They're not supposed to be here. They're from the Pacific. They're so tasty, though. Oh my gosh, you could eat the heck out of those. Yes, you can if you come to Nanny Key. We're going to have somebody there from Staycation who's going to teach us how to fillet them. Obviously, you do need gloves, but you don't have to scale them. You just basically cut them out, and it's a beautiful, tasty white fish. So good. So Nanny Key are going to be cooking up some nibbles for us so you can try for happy hour. So that's the lionfish. Then we've got the heritage dancers. We're so happy the heritage dancers are coming with their steel pan, so that's going to be on from 7 till 8. And Nanny Key are doing an amazing buffet with locally, the idea is that it's local food to introduce visitors and to get us local people.
Yes.
So that's Nanny Key's food, and they're going to have music and with luck the Mokajumbis as well. So the farewell party is going to be lit
awesome.
from 4 o'clock onwards. Come down and party. And say farewell until next year.
Oh wow, this is exciting. If you realize that I stayed quiet for most of it because the information is so not familiar,
right?
And then I guess the persons are going to gravitate towards it. That's a great week of something that is so different, but yet very educational, informative, and fun. Yeah. Yes. My favorite one is going to be the one, the first night. The
pirate party?
The pirate.
The pirate party, yeah.
Yeah, because, when you said, they were pirates, there's so much pirate history.
So much pirate history right here.
I really have never known.
Bellamy Key, out at Trellis Bay. Black Jack Bellamy. He was a pirate. It's named after a pirate. That's the Francis Drake Channel. I mean, it's a bit dodgy about whether he was a pirate or not, too. But that's a whole other story.
A whole other story.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna go into today.
Yeah. But I mean, the pirates really were here. They actually, all the naughty stuff they did, all the carousing, and rebel raising, and all that kind of stuff, went on in St. Thomas. But over here, they lived and worked and mended the boats. They mended the boats at West End. As I said, there was a pirate retirement community, if you like, at Great Thatch. I mean, how cool is that? The captains were voted, so it was a democracy. So if you were a rubbish captain and you didn't do very well, then you got voted out. You didn't get, nothing bad happened to you, but then another young up-and-comer got voted into your place.
All I've ever heard about pirates is bad stuff.
No. No, not all bad.
I'll be there to find that get some more on that, because that seems very interesting. And a great weekend. This is something that you really should push hard to make sure that it remains annual.
We really do want to make it help. It's collaboration. We need help. We're teeny tiny, 6 operators. Some of them have only got 2 employees. So, we're not talking giant big budget here. So we have had a great help from our sponsors, and I hope you didn't mind me mentioning them earlier.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You want him to put some more money and some others to come in and
if anybody wants to come in, please just get in touch. You can find info at bvirecweek.com. That's my email address. And also bvirecweek.com and Facebook. You'll find us there. We're doing our best, as I said, Baby Shark this year, but hopefully, like I say, the Caymans, the sneaky Caymans, they have this huge pirate thing. They never had a pirate.
Never had a pirate.
They have horses galloping down Main Street with flags. The pirates are coming. I'm like, we can do better than that.
They're celebrating for us.
Yeah, we can do better than that. So
so very often we hear persons say that, there is not much for me to do in the Virgin Islands. I'm bored. Stop it. It's not true. hop on board on a variety of activities and
Right.
events, and you will learn so much like I'm learning right now, and my curiosity is already aroused, so I know for a fact that I'm going to be calendaring in some of those days to
And that's the thing.
experience
We
it.
don't expect that somebody is going to try and do every
Every day,
event.
yeah.
It's too much, you know. But just because you live on Virgin Gorda doesn't mean you shouldn't be included too, a little bit.
Yes,
you know, just
yes.
because you live on Jos Van Dyke doesn't mean you have to get left out. So that's why we really wanted to make sure that all the islands got a little taste. And as I say, as we go Anegada, we're so excited that we've got Anegada in this year. So excited. I mean, yay.
Yeah, so BVI Rec Week is on.
Is on
And,
February 12 to 18.
Yeah, and you could remind persons again how they can make contact with you.
You can reach out to me at bvirecweek.com or Facebook, and info@bvirecweek is the email address. info@bvirecweek.com.
Okay, we're so happy to have had you here today to share such fabulous information. I know it's going to be catching on. You said it's very small and not so very recognized, but trust me, you'll tell me later down or write it somewhere that Kathy told me that, you know, this is going to boom in the future. And, you know, we wish
We
you
hope
well.
so.
We will participate
Thank you
to the
so much.
fullest that we can to help promote this as well.
Wonderful,
All
wonderful.
right?
And please come on down.
Oh, will do. And you can too. Make sure it's not Scooby-Doo. Kim, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on The Big Story. And like I said before, we wish you every success and your teams that are working along with you on this.
Very much
every
team effort.
success. And we want to thank you so much for joining us for this edition of The Big Story. I'm Kathy Richards.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life.
We will live well.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.